Okay, so we're in our Tomcat, which is great. We're in the front seat, the autopilot is on, so first of all we're going to select bomb mode. So bomb mode is selected and it goes to 55. Whilst it's in autopilot, that will sort out our trim for us, which is a nice easy way of going about it. That's all we need to do at this moment in time. We need to jump into the back seat, or if you're using the Jester wheel you have to choose the options, which I'm not so sure about, so I can only do it this way round. Swap to Rio. So jumped into the Rio seat. We're going to do a few things in here. First of all, we're going to make sure everything's going the way that we want it. We're going to go to TGT, or target mode, and that is the equivalent of modern day CCRP, continuously computed release point. We are going to go a single bomb, and it's in the single, and we're in STP delivery, which is fine, we're not going to ripple. Our fuse will go to nose, because we're not using a high drag bomb. And finally we're going to select the quantity we're going to release. So as we're only releasing one, the interval is irrelevant. But we're going to need to then select the stations that we're going to do that from, and we're going to select 3 and 6, the 2 forward stations which have the low drag bombs on. Finally, we need to make sure it is a low drag bomb, and it says here Mark 82L, so it's a Mark 82 low drag bomb. So that's good. We've set everything up the way that we want to in the back seat, so we can now jump back into the front seat. Swap to pilot. Back in the front seat now, we're going to go into the air to ground mode. So we set the air to ground mode, we let it pause for a little bit, it recalculates and gives us our basic ordnance. So we're on the ordnance, there's an X through it because we haven't got the master arm on. So far so good. So we'll switch the master arm on after we go through base. We're actually in the range now and we're just coming overhead the target. So I was going to take it off of autopilot. So we clear these. Off of autopilot, but whilst we're there, just as we're still in trim there, just bring our HUD trim up to our aircraft reference, or Gull's Wing. 6,000 feet, so we're going to do a 2.5 degree descent, so we put that in between the -5 and the 0 line. We've got 350 knots on, we've got 30 degrees of bank, so 30 degrees of bank is seen here, nice and easy. A little bit of a drop there as I was demonstrating that, so we come that back up. 5,200 feet, nicely in the descent, 30 degrees of bank, 360 knots because we went a little bit steeper. We'll look out and have a look. There's a river or road going out there, that's quite nice. To the left of that, here and here is a strafe panel, and here's the target we're going to bomb. It's a little range I've set up in the site in Cyprus in the Syria map. Rolling out on 090, which is the reciprocal heading, still in a descent, and descending through 4,000 feet nearly. Good visual reference point is this lake, and then up here we have a lead-in arrow. As we come out this way, there is a solar farm out this way, a solar panel farm, and that's good for us turning in. The one thing we haven't done, which we need to do now, is jump back into the back, swap to Rio. That's because I'd forgotten. We have already put in a surface target, ST. So now we can navigate to the ST, it points us to the surface target, and the surface target is the latitude and longitude of the centre of the bombing circle. So swap back into pilot, swap to pilot. .350, 3,500 feet, still nicely in the descent now. Here's our solar panels. So as we fly across the solar panels, we know we're in line for everything. So in we go. Going down through 2,900 feet, we're looking at 2,500 feet for our overfly. 30 degrees of bank, 350 knots. There's 2,300, so let's bring it back up a tiny bit, back to 2,500. Continuing the turn. In downrange now. So pointing down range, that's good, so we can now go to master arm on. That gives us our bomb fall line. Now what we want to do is to put this diamond over the target, and we do that by using the VSL high and low switch, which you'll have mapped for your air-to-air engagements. So we bring that diamond down so we can use it. And we want to see where it is, so we're going to go into the TV mode for the VDI. That's now looking down. We can see the in the VDI we could see the lake, and we'll come into the target. So using the VDI, we should see the lead-in marker coming in shortly. There's the lead-in marker. There's the centre of the target. Hack that by using the PAL mode switch. And we hack that in good enough time. You can see a little line going down and then another line coming down. That means we would have had time to drop a bomb. So we're good. 2,500 feet. And we turn off crosswind. Right over the solar panels. Crossing the road, so that's good enough, we can turn in on that. And because I was concentrating on that, there's the solar panels, look behind us. So we're in the right place. 30 degrees of bank. 2,900 feet, because I was looking around for something I didn't really need to look for. Learning point there. 2,600 feet, 360 knots, 30 degrees of bank, coming around the corner nicely in our base turn. We'll give a call to air traffic in hot, target 1. Visual laydown. And technically more a radar laydown because it's on CCRP. There's our target, it's locked on there, but we've come slightly wide, just a little bit there, so we're flying direct to, and we know that that's where the marker is, so we fly to it to pick up our correct heading. We want to be on our correct heading to go onto the target as we come over here. So running in, descending through 1,900 feet for 1,500 feet release, and we line our velocity vector up with the bomb fall line. That's that lined up, and now can see nice clear targets, good lock on there. Looking for our release indicators. Here comes the little one. Press and hold. Keep it on target. Here comes the big one. Bomb away.
Impact 238 degrees, 426 feet. Excellent hit.
And we get an excellent hit at 238 degrees for 26 feet. Off and to the left, 30 degrees of bank. (1,900 feet), so we climb for the downwind leg of 2,500 feet. Different profiles will require different heights on the run-in, and switches are left live. So this time we're going to do a loft attack. So this is for if we want to really avoid going overhead the target, whereas a toss attack would be for a tactical nuclear weapon. Toss attack, you would pull up steeper, further away, and throw the bomb 5 to 10 miles from the target. There's our solar panels. So we have a little check here. Slightly high at 3,000 feet, so we weren't paying enough attention there. Speed is good. Through the solar panels, roll in 30 degrees. Gull's wing on the zero ladder. So we're going to make a run in at about 1,000 feet, and then we're going to pull up probably to 30, maybe more, maybe 35 degrees nose, maybe 40 degrees nose up. I'm not sure at the moment. I haven't tested this, so you're getting flight as is. (2,800 feet). Can let the nose drop now 2.5 degrees. Start to descend it down through to 1,500 feet initially, because there is some high ground. Yep, come round a bit wide there. We are a little bit fast, so that would have increased our turn radius. 2,100 feet in the descent, coming towards the leading arrow. Correcting nicely. 1,900 feet, that's above sea level. Turning onto the attack track. There's our arrow and our velocity vector on the bomb line. 350 knots. Coming down through 1,300 feet. 1,200 feet. 1,100 feet. Running in. Here comes the first. And now we pull. And away they go. Pull off to the right, bit of power. Reverse to the left so we can visualize the target.
Impact 335 degrees, 417.
So it weren't quite on line,
feet,
but a good length. I believe there is a relationship to how much you pull to the degrees of pitch nose up you have for the loft. I can't remember it off the head, so I'll have to do a little bit of research. So now we're going to change and we're going to do a visual laydown, pilot assisted and low level with a high drag weapon. So we'll turn onto base, turning crosswind down 2,500 feet, slightly fast there, so we're going to get that off. And we're going to jump into the back to make a couple of changes. Swap to Rio. First change is that we need to go to Mark 82 high drag. The attack mode now is we're taking it off of target or CCRP and we're putting it to pilot, which is then CCIP. We're still keeping these as they are. We're still keeping one quantity, but this time we want to take the weapons off of racks 4 and 5 and disable racks 3 and 6. So that's all good, that's ready to rock and roll. We can jump back into the pilot scene. Swap to pilot. Now we've lost our little diamond and we're relying on a crosshair at the bottom of our bomb fall line. We've come slightly in on the solar panels, but that's not a big deal. So to show you the cross, if I push the aircraft down, so we're in a slight dive, and then eventually, there it comes, there's the cross and the release point. So that's what it looks like. So we'll do a nice little roll in, nice and low. So we're looking for about a 250 foot release on this, maybe even lower. That's why you have the high drag bomb, so that the aircraft gets a chance to run away and get out of the blast zone of the weapon that's being dropped. (1900 feet), we know there's a bit of high ground here, so we'll just hold it about 1500 feet. It's 17, still descending. 350, there's 1600 feet. There's 1500, so the nose comes up and we roll out. Heading in the right general direction, but because we've got no target lock now, 1500 feet, the velocity vector is above the ground, which means we will not hit the ground. It says on the tin. 1550 feet, 350 knots. More difficult to see the leading arrow. There's our leading arrow, so we're on 270. And down we come the other side, so descending through 1500 feet. Need to sort out, so there's magnetic variation, which is why we've got that 7 degrees difference. Bomb line on the target, descending through 850 feet. 750 feet. There's our Pippa. 600 feet. 500 feet. Level it off. Bomb's gone.
Impact 270 degrees 4849 feet.
So as we can see there, that went all wrong because the weapon did not deploy properly. So better have a look in the back of the see what the Rio did wrong. Oh dear, that was me. Swap to Rio. So, looks like I had the fuse set the wrong way. Swap to pilot. So we'll cut a corner. Get the flight path vector above the ground. There's a little valley we can go through, and then we can skedaddle around the corner on that. So some tactical flying now. Now we'll put a little bit more bank in this time, bit of power to support the turn. Gotta get on track. In real life there'd be stop, stop, stop. We would not be allowed to continue, we're not on track. 700 feet. Coming onto target. 400 feet. This time the low drag hits
8 degrees 4101 feet. An effective hit.
So for a hurried job there, that wasn't too bad. So hopefully that clears up some releases.